Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Cobeard. About a month ago, I released a video on how to install and use PokeManager to your advantage as a PokeMMO player. Since then, there have been a couple major updates to PokeManager, and I wanted to go over those with you, as well as walk you through the upgrade process or the installation process if you're a new user. So let's go ahead and we're going to check that out. If you've got an older version of PokeManager on your PC, it's as simple as launching the application, waiting for this update panel to show up. Go ahead and click update, give it a few seconds, and it will launch the updater. It'll automatically update the program for you, and you don't have to worry about anything. It is already ready to go. So we'll just wait for this to happen just to show you how quick it is in real time. And there we are. Just wait for it to launch. And there it is, simple as that. Okay, now, to show you what it looks like to do a brand new install for PokeManager, we're going to go ahead and I will show you here. This is the folder that we're going to end up going to. Okay. In order to get there, the quickest way to get there, if you don't already have PokeManager, is to launch PokeMMO. Wait for this to launch. We're going to click Mod Management. We're going to open the mods folder, and we're going to go up twice. That's it. Once you see the PokeMMO.exe, you know you're in the right spot. For now, we're going to leave this folder open, just minimize it, and exit PokeMMO. Then we're going to travel to the GitHub for PokeManager. Okay, we're going to go to the newest one, download it. I will leave the link for this in the description below. Once you've got it all downloaded, we can, if you're on Chrome, you just click the folder right here. That'll open your downloads folder. We can minimize this. Now we've got our downloads folder and our PokeMMO folder. And all we need to do here is to drag PokeManager over. Now we can close our downloads folder. Right-click PokeManager, and if you're on Windows 11, you will have to click Show More Options. If you're on Windows 10 or earlier, then you will not have to click that. You'll just be able to click Create Shortcut. Then we're going to take the shortcut and drag it out onto our desktop. Now we can go ahead and close File Manager and launch PokeManager. When you first launch PokeManager, you might see a Windows Defender notification saying that the app is from an unknown publisher. That's expected with fan-made or unsigned software. Just be aware that, like with any third-party tool, you're choosing to proceed at your own risk. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and select Run Anyway so we can move on to the next step. After clicking Run Anyway, it'll start to download PokeMMO. We're just going to wait for this to download and unpack for it to open the exe. So when you first open PokeManager, you're going to be greeted with a lot of info. Up top here, you've got 6 major sections. One of them is Useful Links, Guide Tavern. That's pretty self-explanatory. Most of these are just guides. PokeMMO updates. So these are all of the update change logs since they've made updates going all the way back to, it looks like 2020 here. Official events. These are events run specifically by PokeMMO and staff. Then you've got PokeMMO announcements. These are announcements made by, you guessed it, PokeMMO. And then unofficial events. These are events run by the community and some teams and things like that. But a lot of useful information here to check out. After that, you've got a few buttons here on the left-hand side. You've got PokeMMO, Archetype Counter, Montally Counter, Gilan's Counter, Ren Counter, and Directory. All of these are useful at one point or another. Obviously, PokeMMO is going to just go ahead and launch PokeMMO for you. The 4 counter options here are going to launch whichever counter you've selected as long as it is installed on your computer. And then Directory is actually going to take you straight to the PokeMMO directory file in case you ever need to mess with anything in there. After that, we've got the log box. This is going to give you updates on everything that's going on as you click buttons in PokeManager. Okay, so if there's ever an issue or anything that's not running 100% correctly, this is where you're going to be able to find the errors. And finally, the 2 most used buttons in PokeManager are going to be your mod browser as well as your manager. And we'll go ahead and check out mod browser right now. So once you open Mod Browser, up top, you're going to have two options, Downloads and PokeManager Downloads, okay? We're just going to focus on one and then the other, and we'll go through everything. Underneath Downloads, we have Reshade, Sound Mods, Sprite Mods, Strings, Themes, and the Mod Pack. Okay, underneath Reshade, pretty self-explanatory. Ryakutsuki has created his own Reshade for PokeMMO. If you choose to, you can download it. I've already got mine downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. But in order to do that, you can either double-click or just click and then click Download Selected here. After you've done in here, you can click back, go back to the main menu. Sound mods is pretty self-explanatory. There are some mods for certain sounds in the game. Sprite mods, once again, pretty self-explanatory. Overworld sprites, battle sprites, box sprites, anything you could imagine, anything to do with the Pokemon themselves within PokeMMO. There are mods for those sprites. Strings, this is a modification to the text files, to the dialogue in the game to make things run a little bit quicker for those of you who do gym reruns, Elite Four reruns, etc. So there are 4 different strings options here. You have Bill's strings, Ryakutsuki's strings, Shionra's strings, and super strings. So there are 4 different options here for you to choose from. When we go back, we have themes and mod pack. Mod pack is pretty self-explanatory. This one is not a file. So if you do double click this, it's going to download the entire mod pack. There are a ton of mods in here that are widely used among the PokeMMO community. The great thing is once you download these, you can choose to turn which ones you want on and off. So this isn't a download and it runs automatically thing. This is a download it and you can turn whatever you want on and leave the other things off. Under themes, this is going to be pretty popular for a lot of people. There are quite a few theme options underneath the theme section here. These are just some of the more popular themes that are available right now on the forums. And in order to download those, you just come in here, select whichever one you want, and then click Download Selected. Now we'll go over to PokeManager downloads. So you see themes again here, that's not what you think it is, and counters, okay? So if we go under themes, we have Archetype theme and GEC patch. The reason that Archetype theme is separate from the other themes, it is very different from other themes. It's not just a modification to certain files in the game to make it look a different way. Archetype runs a specific way, so it is a bunch of different files that are collected and put together in a folder. Archetype is very different from any other theme, so it has its own section over here, and then the GEC patch. If you're going to run Gilin's Encounter Counter, you do need to download the GEC patch, and I'll show you why later. So you'd go in here, this is under the theme section to get that. Underneath counters, you have your 4 counters, Archetype, Montali, Ren, and Gilin's counter. All 4 of these are pretty reliable. I prefer Gilin's counter myself. Archetype is pretty popular. Montali is getting a little bit more popular as well. But all 4 of these are pretty reliable depending on what you prefer. And that goes over everything under Mod Browser. Under Manager here, we do have quite a few more options. We have remove mods. So if there's ever any mods that you want to uninstall, this is where you would go. You can remove Reshade and strings as well. So again, if you have Reshade installed or strings installed, you would have to come here in order to uninstall those mods. Archetype Counter Patcher, again, this is a patcher for Archetype Counter to make sure it works with other themes. Archetype Theme Customizer, I will come back and touch on this in a minute. This is something that Ryakutsuki has been working on himself. Archetype Counter Patcher Remover, again, if you ever needed to remove the Archetype Counter Patcher. And then Gilin's Encounter Counter Patcher. So once you install GEC Patch from the previous section that we discussed, you would come over here, select Gilin's Encounter Counter Patcher, click Process Selected, select File, and it's going to open up all of your mods. This is the new place where themes are stored in PokeMMO. It's in the mods file. So for example, if we wanted to patch this BW2 theme.mod, we would come in here, make sure that we selected Gilin's Encounter Counter Patcher, select this, and select Open. And it'll process for us. Just click yes, and it's done. It's that easy. Now Gilin's Encounter Counter will work with whichever theme that you have patched. Just make sure that you come in here, patch every theme that you wanted to use GEC with, and you'll be good to go. Back to the Archetype theme customizer. Underneath here, there are a lot of different options, different things that you can change the colors of. So the Reshiram aura, Reshiram color, Zekrom aura, etc. These are your login screen. Your berry progress, literally every color in the game that is customizable is available in here. You used to have to go into choose my color, the file in Archetype theme folders, and change each individual one that you wanted to change to a specific hex code. What Ryuk has done is he came in here and made this basically a click, change color, and pick, and you're done. So you don't have to memorize hex codes. You don't have to memorize any of that. You can do whatever you like to all of these colors in here. Then you click apply changes, and it says colors updated successfully and choose your colors.xml. The game is already running. Press Control F5 to apply the changes. What Control F5 does is all it does is reloads the theme. So it refreshes the colors, okay? Then if you ever wanted to go back to default colors, you can just click this. Default colors successfully applied to choose your colors.xml, and you're good to go. Ryuk has also included his own preloaded color selection here. If you want to check that out, it's right there for you. Pretty easy to use. And I think he did a really great job on this. There's honestly not much more he could do to make this pretty easy for you guys. But yeah, other than that, you've got all of this available to you. Now, once you launch PokeMMO, again, you'll see this log box as PokeMMO is launching. Go into mod management, and in mod management, you can see all of the mods that you have installed. So you can activate or deactivate whichever mods that you like. Right now I have HD rescaled icons. This is for the Pokemon icons. This is in your PC box, as well as on the right-hand side where your team is. The HD items from Scarlet and Violet, so that's in your bag. You'll have a little bit nicer of a sprite there. That Unova follower sprites, shiny animated jump, that's that one I was telling you about. And then I've been working on my own theme for my team, so I've got that activated on my PokeMMO as well. Once you activate everything, you're going to click Save. Just to show you what it looks like, I'm going to deactivate one of these. Actually, I'll just activate the example mod. Click Save. It's going to tell you the game must be restarted. That's fine. Sometimes it will restart on its own. Sometimes it won't. So just give it a few seconds. And if it doesn't, just go ahead and click PokeMMO again and start PokeMMO. Wait a few more seconds and you're all set. You can go back into mod management here and you'll see PokeMMO example mod is still selected. Good to go. If you wanted to change your theme, you just drop down in here, go down to interface. Under theme, you're going to go click the drop down, and I'm going to change it to my team's theme, and it's going to tell me, again, game must be restarted. Click OK. Again, sometimes it restarts, sometimes it does not. We'll just click start PokeMMO again. And there we go. So now I've got the theme for my team loaded. Everything's all set. I didn't have to mess with any of the files or anything to make any of this happen. It's already ready to go straight out of the box with PokeManager. And that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'd be happy to get to them. Or I'm streaming most days at twitch.tv/Kobeard90. If you've made it this far, it would mean a whole lot if you could drop a like and subscribe. I plan on making many more walkthrough videos for newer players in the near future, as well as some more advanced strategies. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.